Stephen A. Smith, I asked you this yesterday, and I'm having fun asking you again today. Do you agree with Brett Favre?
What? Listen. This dude right here, notice how he put in that, notice that little line up in there. And I got to be very careful today because his name is Skip A. Bayless for the day. The A stands
we're
for
gonna drop,
astute.
We're going to
okay.
drop. The A's about to stand for something else.
Notice how he sits there and slides in that comment, sort of like me.
I noticed that.
Like if too much was put on him. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There were plenty of years where Brett Favre was loaded, and then he ends up throwing. The man threw over 22 interceptions 6 times in his career in a season. This dude right here spent the last 6, 7 years not making up his mind about when to retire. Now here he is talking about Tony Romo. Oh, he's like me, and like he's the victim. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jerry Jones has loaded the Dallas Cowboys with talent year after year after year. If Tony Romo is any kind of quarterback, and I'm not saying he's a scrub because I know he can play. I know Tony Romo can play. Last year, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 102 passer rating. He was balling last year. But when it was time, where was he? Nowhere to be found. I'm still looking for him. APB still out for him. I can't find him. He was nowhere. So I don't want to hear all of that. This dude didn't get it done. And so to me, when I see it, I sit there and I hear somebody like Brett Favre opening his mouth, talking about Tony Romo, like he's a victim. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You had DeMarco Murray. You had Des Bryant. You had Miles Austin, even though he got hurt and he came back. You always had Jason Witten. The list goes on and on and on with the weapons that this man has had, and he's come up short. 8 years, 1-3 playoff record in the Big D. America's team playing every Thanksgiving. Lord knows how many Monday or Sunday night games they had and nationally televised games they had every year. You got playing a $1 billion playpen, and you talking about this dude as a victim? What world is Mr. Wrangler Gene living in? This is just a joke. I just can't believe that. And I'm mad right now. Let me put this on the record because Primetime Deion Sanders is my man. That's my boy. I love him. He works for the NFL Network. He doing a great job.
Here comes a butt.
It is a butt.
It's a Jay Farrell butt.
Prime time.
Yeah.
Prime time. That's right. Put that camera on me. Prime time. I'm calling you out. I got a problem with you because he's sitting up there with his shorts on, smiling. Clearly, it looked like they were in South Beach, okay? He was sitting there in the sunshine, chilling out, talking with Brett Favre and let him get away with that statement. Don't let him get away with that prime time. That's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Go ahead.
So you're
Go
saying,
ahead, man.
Well, hold on.
What?
So you're saying Brett Favre knows very little about playing quarterback?
No. I'm saying he has a lot of nerve and a lot of gall saying what he said. The victim in Dallas, let me be clear about this. The victim associated with the Dallas Cowboys organization is Mr. Jerry Jones, an owner that puts his money where his mouth is and has given Tony Romo the weapons to produce, and he hasn't gotten the Brett Favre talking about pointing out people.
Wait, well, hold on.
Assignments. They don't know what they're doing. Isn't that your job as a quarterback to make sure they know before the game?
No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Did Jerry Jones hand Tony Romo a playoff caliber defense last year?
What? No, he did not. Did they have a chance to go? Did you not pick them to win the NFC East on the last week of the season when the Giants stomped them? Was that not you, Skip Bayless?
You know what?
Answer my question.
Skip A. Bayless?
Answer my question, Joker. Answer my question, Joker. Don't be making those faces. Don't answer my question.
The point
Did you not pick them?
There is no way the Cowboys would have even been in position to make the playoffs by beating your New York Giants without Tony Romo's heroics, without his clutch
heroics.
Game after game after game.
Really?
He saved
Until
them.
when it counted most.
Here's what's happening lately. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm starting to feel a groundswell of support for Tony Romo.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Starting with our very own Casey Joyner, the football scientist on ESPN.com, who broke it down and showed you that the fifth highest QBR last year in the NFL belonged to one Tony Romo. Made the case that Tony is now a top 5 quarterback. I can't go that far, but it's an interesting case.
You better have a ring if you're in that group.
Then we had the great Roger Staubach, again, former Dallas Cowboy quarterback, say, you people are not giving Tony Romo enough credit for at the high level that he continues to play.
I don't care what Cowboys
Here's
say
the
about
problem
Cowboys.
with Tony Romo. He has made isolated, catastrophic, spectacular blunders.
Oh.
Catastrophically spectacular blunders, but they're isolated, starting with the bobbled snap in Seattle on the extra point, way back to the Parcells.
You mean some of the blunders like LeBron James had all those years before he won a title?
No,
I was thinking the same thing, Stephen A. I was.
No. What's that?
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
You just described LeBron James.
Okay, we're talking about an undrafted free agent quarterback who has overachieved like crazy.
Stop it.
No.
8 years in the league, stop it.
Yeah, undrafted
Enough
really
of that.
isn't relevant
Enough
anymore.
Of that.
Well, I think it is. So the point is, bottom line, Tony Romo had 2 big breakdowns last year that did cost his football team. It was the last pass to Darrelle Revis on opening night in New York or in New Jersey against the Jets.
Yeah.
And then it was the second half, roof falls in at Jerry Jones' billion-dollar playpen against the Lions.
Yeah.
3 big interceptions, one to his best friend, Bobby Carpenter. That's all another issue.
Yeah.
Okay, but those are the blunders. The other ones I can show you game after game when he clutch gene. San Francisco beat a very good 49er team, right?
He did.
Okay.
But he hasn't always come through in the clutch.